So if you're asking yourself when you wake up, like every single week, thinking, oh my goodness, I got to record another episode for Tuesday or whenever your episode airs, then if you're doing that, you're already behind. You're already losing. Like you cannot scale a business if you're living in survival mode. Welcome back to the Organizedpreneur podcast. And in the last episode, we talked about the difference between a podcast host who works for free and a podcast CEO who builds assets. And so today I'm going to show you exactly how the CEO operates. I'm going to teach you the concept of the digital assembly line. This is the exact workflow that allows me to produce an entire month of content if I choose to in just 4 hours without the burnout and without hiring a massive team. Welcome to the Organizedpreneur podcast, the show for creators who are tired of the chaos. I'm your host, Aldreama Harper. My mission is simple: to help you stop being an overworked podcast host and start operating like a podcast CEO. So whether you're drowning in admin work or trying to scale your business without burning out, you are in the right place. We talk systems, workflows, and the strategies you need to reclaim your time. It's time to stop grinding and start operating. Let's get to work. So most podcasters operate in what I call the circle of death. You heard me speak about that on the last episode. Like you record, you edit, you write the show notes, you panic because the upload failed, you publish, and then you have to do it all over again in the next 5 days later. That's exhausting. It's inefficient. And quite frankly, it's not good stewardship of your time. And so the alternative is the digital assembly line. Think about it like a car factory. They don't build one car from start to finish, right? They don't do that like, okay, let's just completely build one car and then start the next one. They move the car through stations, like station 1, the frame, station 2, the engine, station 3, the paint, right? However that works. I've never worked in a car factory, but I think you get the point. The point is, you need to treat your episodes the same way. You need a centralized dashboard, not a messy Google Drive that moves your episodes through stations. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about what that looks like for your podcast. So station 1 is pre-production. Station 2 is production. And station 3 is post-production. So what is pre-production? So I call that like the idea bank. Okay? So stop trying to come up with ideas on the recording day. You need a holding tank or a bank, a think tank, a place where you just have your ideas, where you drop your ideas all month long. And then once you sit down to record, you don't think, oh, what am I supposed to do now? Instead, you're thinking, okay, let me just open up my dashboard here and pick 4 of the best ideas and hit record. That's how it's done. So that's your pre-production, the idea bank. Station 2, production, which is the batch. So like I record either 2 episodes or 4 episodes in one sitting. And it all depends on what the theme is. Like I may have a theme, or I may have a topic that I want to, break down into 4 episodes. Or record for an hour and then break it up into the 15-minute episodes. However you want to do it, the production is where the batch happens, right? But you may be thinking, okay, that's exhausting to do all those episodes in one sitting. The tiring thing is setting up your microphone and the lights 4 separate times. Do it once. Get it done. That's how you do it. Instead of 4 separate times, like I said. And so that is the batch. You record all of your episodes in one sitting so that you're not setting up the microphone or the lights or whatever your setup looks like, 4 separate times. Again, you just do it once and get it done. Okay. Post-production, station 3. Now, this is where all of the magic happens. I'm so excited about this. I recently created an AI assist. Okay. Like, I don't write my show notes anymore. I don't write my emails anymore. Now I have to think about what I want to write, right? The AI doesn't do everything for me. But doesn't it feel a whole lot better if you would just take those episodes that you just recorded, okay? Take those transcripts and run it through an assistant? Well, you can do that. I use my AI launch coach. Well, actually, it's more than a launch coach. And what it is my AI assistant is one that helps me, keeps me from doing all of this stuff manually. And it's a system. I call it my podcast operating system, my podcast OS system, whatever you want to call it, but it's my podcast operating system. And so, because I used to do all of this manually, but now I use this system that is just so sweet. So inside of my system, it reads the transcripts. So you put your transcripts inside of the system once you have recorded your episodes, right? You take the transcripts, you put them inside of this assistant, and it instantly spits out the title, the description, the email, the social post, all of the things. And this used to take me hours and hours and hours. Now it takes me less than about 15 minutes to do. So, and here's the hard truth. Like, you cannot automate a mess. Like, if your files are scattered across your desktop and your email is in one place and you got 20,000 different Google Docs, AI can't help you. So you need a home base, right? You need a central operating system that tracks every guest, every file, and every deadline. And so I really built this system for myself, and I've been trying it out because I was drowning in admin work. And so, again, I call it my podcast OS. Okay. And it's the brain of my entire media company. Yeah. So if you want to see how much time you can save, then start small. I want you to stop writing all of the show notes from scratch. Hopefully you're not doing that. But one of the tools that I have put together for you is a free tool that I call my one-click show notes generator. And it's the exact AI tool that I use in station 3 of my assembly line. And so if you're interested in that, just go to organizedpreneur.eo.page/site and download it for free. Need to stop playing with folders and start running a professional dashboard, and keep an eye out on your email, because I'm opening the doors to the full podcast OS system, including the new AI launch coach very soon. So stop hustling and start operating and treat your podcast show like a business. And you are the CEO. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll see you in the next one. Have an amazing day. Well, that's a wrap for this week. Remember, listening to strategy is great, but installing it is where the freedom happens. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start building your own digital assembly line, head on over to the website. The link is in the show notes. You'll get the resources we talked about today. And until next time, I want to leave you with the foundation of everything that we do. From 1 Corinthians 14 and 40, let all things be done decently and in order. Go build your system, and I'll see you next time on the Organizedpreneur Podcast.